All right, guys. So in today's video, I'm going to break down my experience at the 2023 OKA tournament that was on Grand Lake. So this is my first kayak tournament and also my first fishing tournament ever. So in this video, we're going to go over some things I think I did good, mistakes I made, and overall how I feel about the tournament. I'm making these videos to not only track my progress as I do more and more tournaments and hopefully improve, but also to show you some of my mistakes or the things I did good, and so you can apply them to your own fishing. All right, so starting off with the first thing I think I did well, which was research. So in pre-fishing and doing my research, I found a really good kayak spot, so I didn't have to move around a whole lot. It gave me a lot of openings for techniques, whether I want to flip docks, crank, um, and I'll show that spot right here. Also, I did my research on kind of winning techniques and baits that are used at that time of year. So I had some type of idea coming into the tournament on what I should use. All right. The second thing I did well was adaptability. So when I was pre-fishing about a week earlier, they were hitting top water. I was catching them cranking. There was a big shad spawn going on. And, well, tournament day, there was a big cold front that came through the night before, and that killed the shad spawn. So early in the morning, after cranking for about an hour, it wasn't really producing. And I figured they were kind of holding under docks because I knew from doing my research earlier that they did like moving up on docks that time of year, kind of for spawn. So I picked up a jig and I went to work. And here's the exact jig I use, kind of a green pumpkin ball headed jig. It's got some hair in it. Um, and I caught all of my bass but one on that jig. All the bass that I turned in on Tourney X were caught on the jig except for one. All right. Now for the mistakes I made. So I think I stayed in that cove for way too long. So after about 12:30, my jig bite quit producing, and I had flipped every inch of every single dock in that cove. I did try and leave and kind of fish back towards the launch, and I'll show you right here where I launched from. I didn't have success in fishing back towards the launch, and it just wasn't feeling right. There were no fish on those main lake docks or those really small coves. So after about 30 minutes, I came back and I think I caught one more, but it didn't help me at all. And I just forced it too much. So in hindsight, I should have made a run to the next cove up instead of fishing back towards the launch. And I'll show you this image here. The red circle in that image is the cove I was in, and the arrows are pointing to coves I could have hit. But it would have taken me around 15 minutes to get to that next cove, and I didn't know if I did had enough battery life because I hadn't really been out for an 8-hour tournament ever in my life before, and I'd never run the battery that long in my trolling motor, so I wasn't for sure. Also, in pre-fishing, more spots wasn't something I had really planned for. I thought I had enough with that original cove and all that water in between the launch. Um, but now I know for the next tournament to have extra spots or backup spots for the backup spots, just so I'm fully prepared. Overall, how I feel about this tournament. So I caught 5 fish, which was kind of my goal, my only goal for this tournament. Um, but I ended up culling once for a total of 76 inches. This landed me in 18th out of 76 anglers. I did have 77 inches, but I got deducted half an inch because a fish had his mouth slightly open, but it didn't end up hurting me at all. But it is something to look out for later tournaments. All in all, I feel pretty good about this tournament, except for those few hours where I kind of let it slip. I was sitting in seventh at about that time, about 12:30, but I couldn't keep it up. I just couldn't stay on top of those fish. Um, my overall rating for this kayak tournament, being that it was my very first tournament ever, I'd say I'd give myself a 7 out of 10 on how I feel I executed and fished that day. All right. Thank you guys for watching this tournament breakdown video. Hopefully you got some good knowledge out of it. Something you can take away. Stick around at the end of the video. I'll include some extra clips I have that I took during the tournament. They're pretty funny. Again, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Look at this bad bitch right here. Dude, I'm fucking shaking after catching this boy. Oh my goodness. You can see she's spawning. Oh man. That'll win a tournament right there, son. Another good one.